Creating a community of belonging is the first step in a great outcome for all students.
We're providing this environment where children are learning from their friends, and friends are learning how to be open and empathetic and patient with a variety of differences.
Preschoolers are naturally very accepting of other people. Whatever their ability level is, preschoolers just go, that's how that person is.
If I had one wish about what other districts, teachers, admin, anybody who doesn't have a child who's disabled or with learning disabilities or behavior issues knew, is that kids, all kids, are just kids, right? Kids who yearn for belonging.
When you have an inclusion program, you're bringing in families from the school, families in the community who might not otherwise have interaction with some of those families of kids on IEPs. And it makes our preschool class more integrated into the school as a whole.
When we teach a goal in a naturalistic environment, that student is going to understand the function of that goal a lot better than if you're pulling them out in isolation. And not only will they understand the function of that goal better, but they will also enjoy learning as opposed to feeling like they are separate from the rest of the classroom.
One of the things that we've seen and witnessed here at Grace Miller is that by prioritizing early inclusion and early interventions, that we literally change the trajectory of our children's education.
My daughter has blossomed in this program. Like, her language has exploded. Before, she would never even talk to other children, and now she grabs their hands and runs around the playground with them. She has just had an amazing experience.
Using UDL practices, which is Universal Design for Learning, allows for so many different entry points and different ways of assessing kids. And when you use UDL practices, you don't have to spend the time learning so in depth about each child, right? Because if a kid needs visuals, they're already there. If a kid needs some kinesthetic work, it's already happening. It allows you to reach each child where they're at while having fun doing it.
It's really important to include the voices of our teachers and staff on what level of support they need for training. By doing so, we really develop our training around their needs, and because of it, we have a lot more buy-in and a lot more success.
Everybody in preschool can use a little speech. Everybody needs help with fine motor skills. We have lots of support because of our aides, and we also have a speech teacher who pushes in and works with us, and an occupational therapist who works with us. So we have all those extra supports, and really it benefits everybody.
Some of our students, they don't necessarily follow along with what the adult models are doing in the classroom, but when they see another student doing that, they start to do that as well. We have a Big Buddies program that one of our teachers started, where our second grade students actually go into the classroom and help out at recess time or help out in small groups. So we've seen it benefit both our students that are helping out and our students that are in the class.
So my son James was born with Down syndrome, hearing loss, and he's actually had a lot of medical issues. Not only has James benefited from this full inclusion experience, this entire community, the teachers at this school, the principals, the admin, even within the entire district, have learned from these inclusive practices. The other day I walked James into school, and this fifth grader stopped us, and he had to put down his breakfast, which fifth graders putting down breakfast, I feel like is a big deal. And he said, hold on. And he said, how are you? He's like, I learned sign language, so I could talk to James.
One of the things that's really crucial for success in an inclusion classroom is training, because we know that the data says that when we do these practices with fidelity, they're successful.
Valuing continued ongoing professional development and training is really key for all of our staff members, all of our service providers.
Some of the best practices of inclusion is really making sure that our special education side is talking to our general education side and working together. Once everyone has that philosophy, then we see all our students as one, as opposed to this student is in isolation, or here's that SPED student.
What's really important is when you have administrators be supportive of what inclusive practices look like and how it benefits all learners, as well as the district leadership as a whole, really coming alongside the programs and teachers to help support inclusive practices and help support inclusion as a whole.
My advice for other districts that are looking to create their own model of inclusive learning would be finding people with the heart for the program. It just really takes exceptional individuals who have a passion for early intervention, for early education, and that are willing to work together to come up with schedules that work, with programs that work.
So districts often feel that there are barriers to starting an inclusion program. Maybe they don't already have a Head Start program in place, and so they're concerned about how to make that program successful. And so it's important to remember that you can be creative with this. You can find other ways to get funding. We created a fee-for-service program, and that offsets the cost of the additional staffing to support that larger class. So that's how we did it.
The thing that I wish that people knew about inclusive learning is that from a parent's perspective, don't be afraid. I was afraid that my daughter, who had special needs, would not do well. She would be made fun of. She would not fit in. And I came to find out that everyone was amazing. The teachers, the students, the school, the program directors, everyone in this program has made such a difference and has made her feel, and us as a family, so welcome.
Do it and don't give up. Talk to your administrators, talk to your leadership about what this could look like for your district, or what this could look like for your classrooms or your school sites, and then also how it benefits all kids as well as teachers too. When people come together with one purpose in mind and with one end goal, I think that beautiful things can absolutely happen.